Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Charles Vance. We want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. I almost forgot the damn intro here, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel here, and be sure to follow me on IG. My handle is CTABANZ. So let's get into today's topic, man. So this is a topic I had no idea we were even going to produce. I'd actually finished shooting and Mitch sent it over to me. But as you guys know, the Lakers have been experiencing some recent success. They beat two of some pretty good teams between the Houston Rockets that they beat last night and the Denver Nuggets, and I forgot the other team that they beat that was also a really good team. I don't remember the team though, but anyway, I think it was the Knicks or some team like that, right? And for some of those games, LeBron was out, and then for some of those games, he was actually playing. And if you looked at the data, you would see that the Lakers are clearly not a good team when Luka, LeBron, and Reeves play. It's just not a good duo. They're not a good trio. The best combination is really Luka and Reeves and then the rest of the guys. And I've said, and I've been saying that there is a way for the Lakers to kind of figure this out, and that would be to limit LeBron's role on the team. I've said, even suggested him going to the bench, although that's not going to happen. And you guys remember the podcast with Rich Paul and Max Kellerman when they were talking about, the Manu Ginobili role, and they were trying to, talk down Austin Reeves. And I'm like, no, Austin Reeves is their second best player. Like, he's their second best player, and I don't know why we're dancing around this. And I said that about a week or two ago, I said JJ Redick needed to be fired because he was unwilling to do the most obvious thing, which was reduce LeBron's role on the team. I said it. That was the key. That's the thing that needed to happen, right? And until that happened, this team wasn't going to go anywhere. So, as I said, I had no idea we're going to do this show. Mitch sends me over some information here from Courtside Biz, and I want to put up the post for you guys, and it says, the best thing for our team is LeBron being the third highest used player. And I'm like, you got to be joking. JJ Redick actually said this publicly. It looks like things are changing because this guy has finally said the truth. But before we even get into the sound of what JJ had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. The playoff push is heating up, tournament hoops are here, and there's no better time to make your picks on Prize Picks. Every bucket, every dime, every win means more when you're right. And here's what got me excited. Prize Picks now has team picks. So on top of all the player picks you already love, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals too. I've been using it and honestly have no idea why I waited so long. I made my first team pick on a basketball game the other night, and it made watching so much more fun. The best part, you can even pick who's going to cut down the nets in a few weeks or who's winning it all this summer. All right in the same Prize Picks app. And team picks are available in 35 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Washington. If you're right on your picks, you cash in. It's that simple. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoffs rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That's code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, perfect. So what we want to do is we're going to play what JJ had to say. I want you guys to listen to his comments, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to JJ Redick here.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's he's still going to be, still has been a high usage player relative to your average player. He's the best thing for our team is him being the third highest used player. And obviously there's been stretches of the year where he's had to do more with injuries or guys being out of lineup. And I think finding a rhythm and a groove within the rotations and lineups when those three guys play, I think that's been the challenge for all of them, not just LeBron, all season. And we didn't have the early part of the year to ramp up, and then Austin gets hurt, and then there's roughly 2 months where it's a lot of just managing stuff on the fly because of all the injuries we had, and so now it's post All-Star break, it's just about finding that rhythm, finding that groove for all three of those guys.
Excellent. So you heard what JJ had to say. Let's just go through some of the reaction of what people says. One person said, having LeBron James playing the Chris Bosh role might get them to the Western Conference Finals. Another guy said, trust me, LeBron James doesn't like that. Another guy said, LeBron like this are really blessing, and LeBron like this are really blessing in disguise. He can do little things, and when Austin and Luka are struggling, takes over the fourth quarter. Okay, I don't know what this guy's talking about. Another guy said, fourth option if Ayton finds that dog in him. Another guy said, I've been saying this since 2022. He should have been taking a back seat, but glad we finally getting it together. Another guy said his ego won't allow that, and people just kept on going on and on and on and on and on and on and on with their comments. What do I think about what JJ Redick had to say? I think he's correct. And I think now we're addressing the elephant in the room. It's not that we're picking on LeBron. LeBron is 41 years old. There's no reason a 41-year-old should be playing starter minutes. It makes no sense. It makes no effing sense for him to be playing starter minutes, given the fact that those guys don't really play defense. Now, I've said this. People have made a lot about Luka's defense, about Reeves' defense. If you look at the defensive ratings for the players, Austin Reeves, out of the three of them, is the best. Then it's Luka, then it's LeBron, in that order. And I just didn't see how this will work. Now, people are talking about his usage. Well, if LeBron is on the court and his usage is down, it means that he's going to be doing other things, setting screens, rolling to the basket, hitting corner threes and other things. He's going to have to do other things, do the dirty work. But that's what the Lakers are going to need for them to be a successful team. And if it's truly about winning, then he will do that. He will take a lesser role, the same way Tim Duncan did when you saw players like Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, and these other guys, Manu Ginobili, these other guys blossoming. He took a step back for the betterment of the team, but now Tim Duncan has 5 rings, right? So I think JJ is finally saying the truth. Now, I want this to be said too. If LeBron does take a step back and we begin to see the Lakers flourishing and they become a solid opponent for other teams in the playoffs, I think that would be great. And let's say the Lakers do go on to win a championship and LeBron picks up his 5th ring. That doesn't put him on the same level as Michael Jordan, though. Let me just get that out the way. Jordan was winning those rings in his prime. He wasn't winning rings riding the coattails of a Luka Doncic and an Austin Reeves. All right, he was winning being the guy. Even when Kobe was winning with Shaq, he was contributing equally. Go look at their numbers. So it wouldn't be one of those things. I know LeBron fans would like to do that. No, there are not going to be no finals MVPs and none of that coming his way. It would just be that he did the right thing for his team to go out there and have an opportunity to compete for a championship. That's what it would mean. It would mean that he took a step back with his ego, right? And he's willing to take a lesser role for his team to flourish, and he's not forcing it. It would mean good for him from that standpoint, but it doesn't mean he's better than Michael Jordan if he wins a championship with his team being led by Luka and Reeves. That's not going to happen. There's no finals MVPs coming his way. That's not going to happen either. Just to put that into context, because I do know LeBron fans, and I know that they will look for any opportunity to get a cheap championship, even though they said ring culture is weird. So these are my take on it. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next show, and I'm out. Peace.